life with greater freedom, fulfillment, and fun. Your host for this session is Sarah Hinkley. Sarah is a life coach and mindset mentor for Transformation Terra. Take it away, Sarah.
Hello, hello, and welcome back, everyone. We have the amazing Christene Sismondo here, and she is going to be talking to us about the 5 key components to sustainable, can I speak today? Sustainable and soul-inspired business, which I am very excited to hear about. Christene is a spiritual business strategist and an energy healer. We were talking a little bit beforehand, and she has an amazing story. Her life has gone all different directions, and I'm so excited to hear all about that. So before we jump into your talk, Christene, if you wouldn't mind just telling us, like, where did this passion come from? How did you get here today?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So the journey actually started when I was 6, and I'll come back to that in a second. But it's like you said, it's taken a bunch of twists and turns, and then sort of circled all the way back to the beginning. I started this journey on the playground, actually. I was 6 years old and playing on those bars that were like 3 inches thick. I don't know if you ever played on those, but I was doing flips and spins forward and backward. And I had a little kindergartner come out, and she was observing me, and she asked, "Would you teach me how to do that?" And I remember getting excited and being like, "Yeah, I'll teach you how to do that." And I just thought, okay, well, how am I going to do this? And for about 3 weeks, we worked together. Maybe it was more, but about at least 3 weeks, we worked together literally every single recess. And I remember thinking, how am I going to get her from where she is, having never even sat on a bar, all the way to where I am, which is doing all these crazy spins and tricks? And even at that young age of 6, I remember thinking, like, step by step by step by step by step through the whole process of what I was going to do. And the very first thing I knew that I needed to teach her was to get over the fear. And so we spent time just like going through getting her to trust herself, that she wasn't going to drop herself, and then also getting her to go through the range of motion. Like, I remember holding her back and just taking her through the ranges of motion to like get the embodiment of it. And I am just like, I look back and I'm like, how did I do that at the age of 6? So I thought that meant I wanted to be a teacher. So for the next 17 years, I thought I was going to teach. I'm going to keep a long story short. But then I got 4 years into my college experience and realized, oh my God, I don't want to teach. Now what? And it was at that point that I had to pivot. And then I pivoted to getting a degree in business with a focus in finance, thinking that that was going to tick all the boxes of things that I loved about teaching and about supporting people emotionally. And finances touch everything, right? So you really support people in a really profound way when you help them financially. But that also is not where I ended up. I didn't do financial advising. I ended up in the financial industry, but doing marketing and operations management, which led into a full operational role, and eventually being director of operations for a compliance consulting firm. And through that whole 17 years, the first 17 years was all about teaching. The next 17 years was all about corporate business experience. And through that 17 years of corporate business experience, I discovered energy healing. And I was like, oh, this is the thing. Like, I think this is the actual calling. I get to teach, I get to support people emotionally. Like, I just felt like the thing. And so I left my corporate career and went to go become an energy healer right before COVID. And I think you asked a little bit about my why. Why am I doing what I'm doing now? And the real reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is because I left that corporate position to go really come into my calling. And through that process and through the things that happened as a result of COVID, I actually almost gave up on my calling. And so a part of it was because of just, I ended up having to move. I ended up leaving my network, everything that I had been doing to launch my business after leaving corporate. It was like, it just all fell away. And the effects of COVID literally touched every area. If you think about the wheel of life, it literally touched every single area of my life. And as a result of that, I went through what I refer to as at the time as a soul death. Other people might know it as the dark night of the soul, but it certainly wasn't a night. It was much, much longer than that. So anyways, as coming out of that process, it was about 2 years. And through the coming out of that process, I realized, like, I was trying to ignore my whole business experience. I was when I left to go do energy healing, I just thought, I'm just going to chop that off and ignore that part of my life. And the universe was like, no, 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 you're actually meant to do something more than that. And so that's how I ended up here doing what I'm doing now.
Oh my gosh, I love that. I love that so much because it's so clear that each step of the way really did mold you into where you're at today. And it's like you can see probably see the whole picture now, like, oh, the teaching of the little girl at the age of 6 and how that ties into what you're doing today. And the corporate thing, I love how you were like, no, that's just something else. But no, the universe had another plan, right? Which it always does. And like sometimes we don't know why the things are happening in our lives that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's some time, give ourselves that grace and space and just keep moving forward. It's like, oh my God, this is it.
This
So
is it.
I absolutely love that. What a beautiful, beautiful story. And a little like entrepreneur at 6, you didn't even know it.
Yeah, exactly.
That brings me to the question around, these 5 keys that you've come up with that are really the components to sustainable and soul inspired business. Would you tell us a little bit about those and how you're using those?
Yeah, definitely. And first, I want to say that I used the word key here, but what I actually normally say is core. And the reason is because the word core actually relates to our heart. And these 5 core components of a soul-inspired and sustainable business, they actually start with us. They start with our heart. They start with our passions. They start with just our joys and everything, our loves, everything related to that heart space. And so one of the first component is a desire. And I've heard a lot of people talk about the need to have a burning desire. And what I want to say is it doesn't actually have to be burning because, like my little burning desire started at 6. And there have been times when that light dimmed, right? It hasn't always been this burning, a flame light, but the damn pilot light just wouldn't quit, right? It's like even in my darkest moments, there was still just a flicker of a desire. It was like, I still, even though I'm in the deepest, most miserable place I've ever been in my life, there's still this flicker of a desire to help people in some way. And so I feel like the desire needs to come first and foremost above all else. And so getting clarity around all of your desires, like how you want to live your life, the types of people you want to spend your life with, just desire in every area of life. And I want to talk a little bit about the difference between a want versus a desire, because if you take a minute, and I won't do this because I don't have actual people here, but I encourage you to do this, like literally take maybe 60 seconds, 30 seconds to really sink into the sensation of what it feels like to want something, and think about the things you want and feel in your body what it feels like to want. And then pause and take a few seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, to feel into desire. Feel into what that feels like in your body, the things that you desire and what it feels like to desire them. I've done this exercise with my clients over and over again. And what the commonalities are is that a want kind of has a scratchiness to it, or a jaggedness, or a erratic feeling to it. It also can have like a hopelessness or a hollowness, or there's a vacancy, there's lack. And with desire, there's hope and there's inspiration and there's an upward feeling to it. And so when you are thinking about, and there's a good reason for that, by the way, if you look up the etymology of want versus desire, the etymology, the backstory of where the origination of that word comes from, it comes from lack. Versus a desire actually comes from a phrase of awaiting what the stars will bring. And so when we have a calling, my belief is that that calling came in with us. It's part of our purpose. It's part of our reason for being here. And our desires are the things that are helping propel us forward into that. And so as you are trying to get clarity around what a lot of people say want, I encourage you to change that word from want to desire. And what is it that you desire? How do you desire to spend your time, your life? Who do you desire to spend it with? Just what kind of people do you desire to work with? If everywhere that you use the word want, if you could change it to desire, it will help propel you forward, keep you motivated, keep your passions high, keep you, looking up. So that's the first one.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. I love that you have people embody it to feel what it feels like, because there is such a difference, but unless you're tuning in, you'll miss it. So that's beautiful work. Okay, I'm not going to interject too much, even though I could talk to you forever.
I feel like I could talk to you forever too. So I'll go into the second one. So the second one is your unique you-ness. And when I say this, a lot of people struggle with the word unique. And so I'm going to put that in air quotes, because it may not be that you have something that's totally unique out of everybody in the 8 billion people there are on the planet, but you are as unique as a thumbprint in the creation that you are, in your personality, in your style and flair, in your life experiences. You are unique. There is nobody else on this earth like you. And so I'm putting that in air quotes, but the reality is you are unique. And so when I talk about your uniqueness, what I'm talking about is your being. Who are you? What is unique about you as a human being? Your experiences, your personality, your qualities and characteristics. And a lot of times we don't actually know what's unique about us. And part of the reason is because we are us and we think it's no big deal. But the reality is it is a big deal. And if you want to know what's unique about you, ask the people around you. Ask the people who resonate with you, who are attracted to you, who love you just to the moon and back, because you can't see your own eyes unless you have a mirror. You're looking through them. And the same is true for your uniqueness. You're living it. So it's hard for you to see. And so when somebody gives you a compliment, don't just brush it off, because there's something to it. They're telling you that for a reason, and it's significant. So take stock of the things that make you you, because you want to really step into that authenticity of being who you uniquely are in order for it to be soul inspired and in order for it to be sustainable.
Beautiful, beautiful. And such a great point to hit on is that we are unique, and that sometimes we think that we're not, or we've pushed away the things that make us unique because we feel like it's going to out us. So really celebrating those things and bringing them back, you get so much more connected to the truth of who you are. Beautiful.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
all right.
The third one is also about uniqueness, but this is about your unique gifts. And this is not so much about the being. This is about the doing. It's what are the things that you do that light you up? What are your strengths? So many of us are trying to work on our weaknesses. And I feel like this is a total fallacy. If we're spending time constantly working on our weaknesses, how is that going to make us feel? Is that going to light us up? Is it going to raise our vibration? I don't think so. So, yes, we need to all expand and improve and continue to grow. And I don't think that the focus should necessarily be on the weaknesses, doing the things that don't light us up and serve us. If we could delegate and, give to other people things that light them up to do, and we get to step in our own genius, our own strengths and talents, and the things that really bring us joy, then we're going to propel forward faster. And again, it's more sustainable. How sustainable really is it if you're trying to do things that aren't aligned, that you don't like, I mean, I don't know about you, but in business, if I'm trying to do all these things I don't like, it's like either I'm going to procrastinate or I'm going to take forever doing it. Like there's all these negative ramifications of that. So really getting clarity around what are your unique gifts? What are the things that you love to do? What are your strengths? What are the things that you would do regardless of if you were being paid to do them or not? And you probably do things for people all the time that you don't get paid to do just because you love them so much or because it's supernatural to you. Supernatural. Huh, I really like that. I kind of had a duality and that was totally unintentional.
But you're
yeah,
so right. I mean, focusing on the things that you do well. This is kind of a talk I'm actually going to be giving soon about the gap versus the gain. It's like so many coaches will tell you to pick that thing that you're not good at and start working on that. And yeah, that's a method too. But like you said, how much joy is that going to bring you? Because you're consistently looking at the place where you're lacking. Whereas let's shift the focus to where we're really thriving and how can we expand that? Because again, where our attention goes, energy flows, we're creating more of. So let's create more of the good. So beautiful.
absolutely.
I love that.
Well, and it's inspiring to your soul. I mean, this talk is all about soul inspiring and sustainable, right? And so these are the things that are like, if you're doing what you love, it's going to feed your soul and your spirit. And that is sustainable, right?
Yes, love it. Love it. All right.
Yeah.
So notice so far it was changing the want to desire, your unique you-ness, discovering what that is, and then really focusing on what lights you up versus always focusing on what things are challenging and more difficult for you. Okay. What do we got for 4 and 5?
So number 4 is all about your right fit client. And I use this terminology, right fit, quite intentionally. I don't know how many of you have tried to do ideal client work or perfect client work or client avatar work, and you've spent months or weeks, months, maybe years. A lot of my clients have spent up to 20 years trying to figure out who's my, ideal, perfect client avatar. And the struggle is real. Like, I'm not discounting it because I went through it myself. The struggle is real.
Yeah.
And one of the things that shifted for me the most was this term right fit. When I heard my mentor, Barry Baumgartner, use the term right fit, and she compared it to a right fit husband, it was like the light bulb went off for me. I was like, that makes all the sense in the world. And how I like to think of it is, here's you've got all these passions and things you like to do and how you like to serve people. And here's the clients, okay? When you have a client who is struggling with something that lights you up, which is sort of masochistic, but it's the reality. Like, we get pleasure from somebody else's pain. Let's just be honest and real. So when somebody has a problem that you're like, ooh, I can help with that, right? You get lit up and then there's a match, right? When somebody has a certain personality that you are attracted to, and then you become attracted to each other, you get lit up and you're a match. And so it's not just, you think about their pain points. You also think about their desires. What is it that they desire? Do you have the ability to help them get what they desire? Oh, that's a match. And so it's like, when you think about all these different aspects of right fit client, it's like, what are the challenges and things that they have that light you up to fix, to help them overcome, right? What are their desires that they want, that the path, the strategy, the mindset, the whatever that's going to help them get there. And even deeper than that, to think about who they are as a person. I mean, so much of the time when people are talking about ideal clients, they're like, who's your client avatar? Like, where do they shop? And all these different things, and yeah, some of those things can help you, but the bigger deal is like, well, why do they shop there? Do they shop there because they're totally into like super fancy purses, and you are also into super fancy purses and you want to give like a really high level quality experience? Or do they shop, like, let's say it's, I don't know, I'm not even going to give a name, but like maybe it's like some hippy dippy store, right? And that aligns because you are earth friendly and your clients are earth friendly, right? So it's more about who they are as a human being and what values they have, what matters to them, and really aligning your values with their values and getting clarity on who they are as a human being.
And I can attest, Christine, that this is so powerful. When I change that too, from ideal to, well, who would I really love in the characteristics of that person? Like I love nature and animals, and that stuff was important to me. And when I started writing that out and focusing on that, they came. And
Yeah,
they were the most aligned, beautiful people. So I love that piece of advice. All right. We have one more. We are getting close to the
I
end,
know.
but we do have a little bit of time. So what is number 5?
Number 5 is aligned and sustainable offers. And so you have to think about what it is that you can offer other people. Again, it kind of goes back to right fit client. When you know who your right fit client is and what they desire and what their challenges are, then you can create offers that align with them and that are aligned with everything else about you, right? Aligned with your desires, aligned with your uniqueness, aligned with your gifts, right? So it's all about that alignment. And when you have all of that alignment all together, then that creates the soul inspired business that is sustainable at all levels, financially, emotionally, just everything.
Yes. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right. So those are this is amazing. So this is sort of your signature way of working with people, is taking them through that, or is that just sort of what you're doing today for this, or is this really how you're working with people mostly?
This is really how I'm working with people, is clarifying all of this information and just helping them get clear on their desires, helping them get clear on their uniqueness, their zone of genius and their unique gifts, helping them get clear on who their right fit client is, and what kinds of offers would align with them and their right fit client. It really is, for me, helping people create the foundation for creating a business that can be scalable because it is soul aligned and it is sustainable, right? It can scale because it's sustainable.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I really could talk to you forever. We are so aligned in so many ways that we think, and you put new words around things, and I just love listening to you.
Thank you.
Clearly just so heart-centered. And I felt that. I told her that. I was like, I know we've only talked for 2 seconds, but I can just feel your heart in this. So so grateful to have the opportunity to speak with you. And she has brought this beautiful gift. It's a free gift. And this is actually an assessment. It's a fun little assessment. I took it myself last night. Takes about 5 to 7 minutes. I don't know do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
It's just
You're
an
free.
assessment that kind of covers these 5 areas. I mean, it doesn't specifically say you're going through them, but you're going through them as you go through the assessment. And it really gives you clarity on where you are right now in your business development and planning, and what you're going to need in order to set yourself up for sustainable growth. And so, if you just kind of want to gauge where you're at in your business, this is an incredible assessment. Go ahead and take it.
Awesome. I love that. Great. So please make sure that you guys are clicking that link. For those of you that are here, click that link and just let me know that it opens up. Just say okay in the chat so we know that you've got it. Got it. Awesome. Okay, Tiffany's got it. Amy doesn't see it. I'm just going to copy and paste this. Let's see if Amy can see this when I drop it in for everyone. Oh, she got kicked off and had to log back in. Okay, so you should have that now. Amy, got it. Okay, great. Just opened it. This has been so good. You're getting amazing feedback. Everybody's really enjoyed this. Erica gave you kudos on here. She's got some really great points out of this. We are so grateful. And we have one more thing for those of you that have signed up for VIP. And again, if you have not signed up for VIP, you still can. You get every single VIP gift that every single speaker is doing today on all 3 tracks, it is an incredible deal. I take it up on this every single time because there's just, even one can pay it off, because they're just so valuable. But why don't you give us a little insight onto what your special VIP gift is, Christine?
Yeah, my VIP gift is a half-day workshop, and it's called Coming Into Your Calling, Energetically Aligning to Your Soul-Inspired Business. And as I mentioned, I took a turn into energy healing before I ended up, taking another turn, going back towards business and supporting entrepreneurs. And now I combine them both. And so this half-day workshop, it's all about just energetically aligning with your soul-inspired business. I talk about two rare energy systems that most people don't know about. They're not like chakras and aura and things of that nature. So they're unique to the work that I am trained in. And I help you attune your energy system to your higher purpose, expand your capacity for connection with your higher consciousness, and then help clear internal blocks of those invisible forces of resistance that are keeping you from moving forward in your business. And so it's just like this holistic approach to energetically aligning to be able to move forward and do the work that you are called to do in the world. So come join me for that.
And anybody that has the opportunity to work with you is going to be sincerely blessed. So guys, take advantage, the very least, of her freebie, but we would love to have you upgrade as well. Any last little words of wisdom that you want to leave people with today?
Oh, goodness.
I know that's loaded question.
I know. So my words are shine bright. Shine your light, shine bright, and just don't let anything stop you. No matter where that burning light is, if it's itty bitty and tiny and dim, or whether it's ablaze right now, just keep moving forward because the world needs you.
I love that. And I love how you said that earlier about, it wasn't always a blaze. It wasn't always a blaze, but it was the pilot light was always on. I think that's really important because I think a lot of people think it has to just be like, wow, like right there. But no, it can be a teeny tiny little voice. So, this has just been.
It's that
Yeah.
voice that won't quit.
It's a voice that won't quit. And it is usually calm and cool and collected and shine bright. Yeah, that is the best advice ever. Don't dim your own light. We are, like you said, as unique as our thumbprint, and we all are here to do our part and to be the most us that we can possibly be. Beautiful. All right. Well, we need to jump off now because next up we have Tara Nolan, who is running this entire summit. Also a wonderful, amazing spiritual entrepreneur who I have had the pleasure of working with for the last year and a half. She's going to be talking about manifesting your dream life, and they have dropped the link in the chat if you don't have it, but it also should have been emailed to you as well. Christene, I'm going to follow you. I'm going to find you on Facebook. Are you on Facebook?
I am on
Is
Facebook.
that a place to hang out? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm going to come find you. We will be friends because you are amazing. I am so grateful for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful remainder of the day. I hope you can stick around, and we'll see everybody over at Tara's Talk.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing session of the Soul Calling Success Live Summit, where our mission is to guide you to follow your soul calling and create success on your own terms so your business can empower your dream life with greater freedom, fulfillment, and fun. For recordings of all sessions, plus an amazing VIP gift bundle full of courses and resources from our knowledgeable speakers, upgrade to VIP for only $147. If you have any questions or problems during this summit, please email our support team at support@erfsummit.com. Stay tuned. We have another fantastic speaker coming right up.